What's up? It's Paul from Guitar World, and today we're going to be checking out the newest release from Abasi Concepts, which also happens to be their very first compressor pedal. It's called the Abasi Micro-Aggressor. What packaging here? It's beautiful. Let's check it out here. I'm not much for an unboxing type of guy, but I had to show that because just look at this thing. This thing looks really great. So as you can see, here is the actual compressor. It comes with a little card here with a QR code that you can just scan from your phone, obviously, and gives you all the details, takes you to the website, all the things you need to know about the Micro-Aggressor. So holding it right here, you can see it's beautifully done. It's super lightweight. So a compressor pedal. Yes, I always say there's nothing more curious to guitarists than a compression pedal. Or compressor pedal, I should say. For some guitarists, it's something they can't live without. And for other guitarists, it's completely unnecessary. But depending on your rig and application, having a compressor pedal, certainly one like this Abasi Micro-Aggressor, can do wonders for your tone and really make it jump out. So what is the Micro-Aggressor exactly? It is basically a boost-style compressor with two distinct parallel compression circuits built into this. So it's a really cool pedal. When you look at the controls right away, it may seem like, well, I don't understand it because some of the names like smack and bloom, kind of puzzling, but once you know what each control does, it really adds a whole bunch of expressiveness and vibrancy to your tone. So let's talk about each of the controls here. So obviously level is the amount of output level in this primary compression circuit. Moving over here to clarity, this is a cool knob. This is a tilt style EQ that focuses on the high-end content as you move up in the clockwise position. And then if you dial it back, you get a little bit more of that thickness and warmth. So it's good to kind of find the balance of where you want to hear your sound or kind of EQing your sound. So it's a really handy tilt EQ. And then of course, the two colorfully named knobs called smack and bloom. Bloom dials in the amount of compression in the primary compression circuit. Like I said before, it's a dual compression circuits in this Micro-Aggressor. This, as you dial it either way, you kind of find where you like the feel and the overall character of the pedal. It's hard to express in words, but it really adds to kind of the expressiveness of the compression. Then up here is smack. This is the output level of the secondary compression circuit, the secondary parallel compression circuit. And this one is focused on sort of the transparency and the low-end content of the compression signal. So working these two knobs, you can find that happy medium where the compression starts to work for you and feels right. But for me, I find the Micro-Aggressor is definitely a more present and responsive compressor compared to more traditional compressors where they can get very squashy or too transparent where you almost don't even notice it, or it has that bit of that sheen. This one, without a doubt, adds character, definitely a lot of vibrancy. As Tosin Abasi mentioned, the one thing he loves about this compressor is that it really makes your sound come alive, and I tend to agree with that. It does. You'll notice the immediate impact of the compression from the Micro-Aggressor as soon as you turn it on, and it really adds a nice overall compression to your signal. What really stands out for me is the fact that it really enhances a lot of tapping, thumping, even popping harmonics. This thing really makes all those notes just poke out, sound great, and really come alive. The other thing that's really cool about the Micro-Aggressor is that at its heart is a built-in premium transformer, which adds incredible dynamics to your signal. And also, if you want to use it as well, this thing's got enough output that you can use it as a boost, which is why I said it's a boost style compressor. So it's got an incredible amount of output. And of course, you can dial in the amount of compression to that output as well. Top-mounted jacks, which are great for saving space on your pedal board. It has relay true bypass switching that doesn't affect your tone when the pedal is off. And the soft touch foot switch will last for years. It's a really great and sturdy foot switch. This pedal doesn't take a battery, so you're only going to be able to use the 9-volt power jack over here. Right now, this is my guitar sound with the pedal disengaged. You know, a mellow, warm tone. But now watch how it kind of pops as soon as I turn this on. Now, I definitely have a little more compression than I normally would because I'm setting this up for an example I'll show you in about a minute. But let's hear each control really quick. Obviously, the level control, as you heard, this is just under midway, and you heard the amount of output it gives you. So it really bumps up your signal, and if I keep turning it up, it gets a lot of output. Okay, then as I mentioned before, this is the clarity knob, which is sort of the tilt EQ. So take a listen. As I move it clockwise, you get more of the high end. You can hear it starts to get a little more thick as I go counterclockwise. So depending on your tone, you want to set it right about, I had it set for just about here to add a little bit of, just enough upper end warmth. Next up, I'm going to hit Bloom, which adds that bit of that feel, a little bit of that nice compression. Take a listen. It's very subtle and nuanced. So it starts to get very heavy as I turn it clockwise, and then right about here is kind of where I like it as one part of the dual parallel compression circuit. But it has a real nice character right about here. You can hear it. Kind of affects the low end as I turn it up over here. Right about 11 o'clock sounds good with this guitar and that amp. And then smack, here's the second compression circuit. Really, you'll hear how things start to pop and really poke out on this one. And as you dial it back, so roughly, for me using this, I tend to like the smack right here about like the 1 o'clock position and the Bloom just about here. So it adds a real subtle and nice, vibrant compression to the signal. And as I mentioned before, it's perfect for, you know, if you're a tapper or you like to pop harmonics, even like that kind of thumping stuff, you know, all elements of Abasi's playing style, and it really works well here. The other thing that's great, if I turn it off, say I add a little bit of overdrive, this really kind of warms up the signal and adds a little bit of boost and really nice sound to the signal. So here's my overdrive. Here's it with Micro-Aggressor on. And I can tailor it, like I can add a little bit more bloom. And hear that low end kind of jump a bit. Or pull it back. And then take a listen how clarity works as well. Really adds a nice bit of warmth and some compression to your signal that really makes all your notes kind of jump out. And let's take a listen. Let me do a little bit of an example of what I mean by that. If I start to tap, say on this is what it sounds like with the Abasi Micro-Aggressor bypass. Take a listen. Now, when I turn it on, it's a whole nother world. Here's without. The Abasi Micro-Compressor is a fantastic pedal. I think many guitarists who play extended range guitars or down tuning, who tap, who like to pop harmonics, this is just an essential pedal that really administers just the right amount of compression to give you that attack and liveliness to your sound. It's dynamic and lively, and as Tosin Abasi says, it really makes your guitar come alive when you engage it. Definitely check it out.